Some truths don't arrive as facts. They arrive as images, stories, patterns we've felt all our lives, even if we've never named them. The wise elder, the wounded child, the seeker on a journey. These aren't just characters, they're archetypes. Universal patterns that live beneath the surface of every story we tell and every version of ourselves we become. Archetypes shape how we see the world, how we understand others, and how we make meaning of our own inner life. They don't teach by explanation. They teach by resonance. You recognize something in them even before you know why. The term archetype was popularized by Carl Jung, a Swiss psychologist who believed that certain symbols live deep in the human psyche. He called this shared symbolic layer the collective unconscious. It's the part of us that holds ancient memory, not from personal experience, but from being human. Archetypes live there, not as fixed images, but as patterns, tendencies, internal blueprints. The mother, the rebel, the hero, the guide. They appear across cultures and generations, not because they were passed down intentionally, but because they rise up spontaneously again and again. In myth, in religion, in dreams. Even in modern storytelling, branding, and film, these symbols speak to something deeper than reason. They bypass analysis and go straight to recognition. That's why mythology carried them so well, not to explain life, but to reflect it. Myths gave these patterns a shape, so we could see them, feel them, and remember they were part of us all along. Archetypes aren't bound by time or language. They appear in mythology, folklore, psychology, in the books we read, and the roles we play. The hero, who must leave the familiar and face the unknown. The caregiver, who tends others at her own expense. The trickster, who disrupts the rules to spark change. The warrior, who protects what matters. The mystic, who sees what others cannot. These patterns aren't random. They show up across continents, across centuries, because they speak to the human condition. But they don't just live in stories. They live in us. We embody them in different seasons of our lives, sometimes without even realizing it, and sometimes we resist them. But even resistance is a kind of relationship. The archetype doesn't demand that you become it, only that you notice the pattern and decide how you want to meet it. Archetypes are mirrors, but not of who you've been. They reflect who you're becoming, or what's waking up inside you. They offer language for things we feel but can't name. At times, they arrive as fascination, a pull toward a certain symbol or figure that feels strangely personal. At other times, they show up in dreams, in imagery that lingers and asks to be understood. The archetype doesn't force, it invites. It doesn't tell you what to believe. It asks, what do you see in this? And what does that say about you? In a world that feels increasingly fragmented, archetypes offer a thread of coherence. They remind us that our inner lives follow patterns, that struggle, loss, growth, and becoming are not just personal experiences. They're part of a deeper architecture shared across human stories. Working with archetypes can help us make sense of transition, uncover meaning in our choices, or reconnect to parts of ourselves we've lost. They remind us we're not alone in what we're feeling, that someone, somewhere, has walked this path before. And there's wisdom in that. Archetypes aren't just psychological tools, they're living symbols, maps, mirrors, and sometimes openings. So the next time you feel drawn to a certain figure, or a story keeps showing up, or a symbol won't let you go, pause and ask, what part of me is trying to speak through this? What truth is being shaped through this pattern? Because when you start to see the world in symbols, you don't just understand yourself more deeply, you begin to move through life with a deeper sense of meaning. I hope you found this video to be helpful and welcome your engagement in the comments below. Is there an archetype that's been showing up in your life lately? In your dreams, your stories, or your sense of self? If you've found this topic engaging and would like to catch others like it, be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more content, especially as it really helps this channel grow and helps get this content to more people. Until next time, be kind to yourselves, be kind to each other, and be well, everyone.